going to showing you how to plan and build an enterprise network within Packet Tracer. So the first thing we need to do, as you can see here, we have our ISR router, 3 switches and 3 PCs, but nothing's hooked up. So we're going to have to go ahead and get everything hooked up there. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and go down here to connections and connect the first fast Ethernet interface on the ISR to the last fast Ethernet on the switch. So 00, and that's going to go down to 024. And then we're going to do gigabit Ethernet on the switches all the way up to 3. So we're going to do gigabit Ethernet 1.1 to 1.1 here. And then we are going to do here 1.2 to 1.1. Alright, we're on to the next steps here. So we have a table here for all the things we need to do on the routers. So first thing we're going to do is bring up the command line interface on here. And we're going to configure a host name and call ISR_RTR. And then we're going to do enable password Cisco 123. And then we're going to do a v2i password. And we're going to do that by doing line v2y04. And while we're in there, we're going to do password class, login, exit, and then we're going to go to the console line con0, and do the same thing. Password class, login. We're going to go ahead and exit, and then we're going to do a copy run start to make sure everything's saved. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and do that with the floor 1, 2, and 3 switches here. Okay, so we're in floor 1 switch. We're going to give this one floor 1_SW. We're going to do enable password Cisco 123. Okay, line v2i0.4, password class, login, exit, line console 0, same thing, password class, login. Alright, so that one's saved. And we're going to do floor 2 real quick. I'm going to stop narrating it because I can get it done a lot quicker. Alright, and then we got the last one here on 3. Get this done real quick, and then we're going to go on to the next step. So, alright, so it looks like we got all those set up. So, we're going to go ahead and go to the next step here. Alright, so what we need to do is on each of the interfaces here, for floor 1, floor 2, and floor 3, we need to turn those into trunk ports. So the way you got to do that is we're in the global configuration now, and we just need to access the interface, which here is going to be the gigabit interface. So you do intg 1/1. Okay, we weren't in configuration, sorry about that. intg 1/1, and then we're going to do switch port mode trunk. Okay, so that one is turned into a trunk port. We're going to exit. We're going to save that. And then we're going to go up to floor 2 here and make sure that this is in the trunk port, which since 1.1 is already a trunk port, we're just going to do 1.2. So we're going to do intg 1/2 switch port mode trunk. Alright, so that's done. And now on floor 3, we're just going to verify that everything's set as a trunk port here. So okay, it looks like that's all trunk. And then we need to set the interface on the floor 1 switch connecting to the ISR router as a trunk port as well. So for that one, that is going to be INTFA 0/24 switch port mode trunk. Okay. And then what we need to do is go here into the ISR, bring up the interface that connects to the floor 1 switch, and in this case it's the INTFA 0/0, and then we just need to do a no shut, and that brings that up and going. Okay, and then we need to create a sub interface on the router that I'm on right now. So the way you do a sub interface is going back here, and then you go INTFA 0/0.20. Okay, and now that we're in there, we're going to go ahead and set encapsulation and set the IP address in the subnet mask. So encap .1q, and this is on VLAN 20. And then we're going to do IP address 192.168.20.1, 255.255.255.0. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and exit out of that sub interface and then go to FA 0/0.25. Oh, I forgot to do interface, sorry, FA 0/0.25. Create that sub interface. And within there, we're going to do encapsulation again. .1q. And it's going to be on VLAN 25 right there. And then we're going to do IP address 192.168.25.1. And we need to do that last sub interface, INTFA 0/0.30. Okay. And now we're into that one. So we just need to do encapsulation .1q VLAN 30. Then we're going to do the IP address 192.168.30.1. Alright, so that is all set up. So now all we need to do is get that saved, which we did. Now we're going to go ahead and go on to the next step here. So for this, we need to just set up the VTP domain and password and the VTP mode for each of the 3 switches. So we're going to start with floor 1. We're going to go into here. We're going to exit the sub interface. So we're just in config, and we are going to set VTP domain is site X. VTP password is Cisco VTP. And then we're going to say VTP mode server. Alright, get that exited out, do a write. That's good to go. Okay, now we got floor 2 to set up, so we're going to go into global configuration mode here. And this one is going to be a client as well as floor 3 is going to be a client. So we're going to do BTP domain site X, BTP password, Cisco BTP, and then we're going to do BTP mode client. Alright, we're going to exit out of that, do a write, that's good to go. And the last one is floor 3. Get this done super quick here. So we're going to do BTP domain site X, BTP password, Cisco BTP, and then BTP mode client. Alright, that's all set up there. Now we're going to go on to step 5 here. So all we need to do now is set up the VLANs so they can propagate to the other two. So we're going to go to the floor 1 switch here, and we are going to access Fast Ethernet 0/1, and we're going to set it with VLAN 20, and we're going to call that name admin. I'm going to exit that. Now we're back into and then we need to do VLAN 25, name manage mint, exit out, and then one more of VLAN 30, and that one is going to be called finance. Alright, looks like that's all set up there. Just need to exit, and then do a write, and there we go. And now we just need to connect and configure the workstations. So we're going to connect PC 0 to the floor switch 1 on Fast Ethernet 01, and do the same for PC 1 to floor 2, and the same for PC 2 and floor 3. Okay, that's set up there. Okay, just bear with me real quick here. Gotta make sure I didn't miss anything on any of these steps here. Oh, that may be where I had a problem. Bear with me 1 second here. Alright, sorry about that. I accidentally got which switch was accessing which backwards. So I got everything set up there. So all we need to do is we're going to ping PC 1 and PC 2 from PC 0. So we're bringing up PC 0 here. And we've got to wait for that to turn green real quick. So it's going to be just a couple seconds here. And then once that turns green, we can actually ping from, there we go. So we just need the IP addresses here. 25.101, 30.101. So just bear with me 1 second here. So we're going to ping 192.168.25.101. And there we go. We got some replies. So now we're going to ping 192.168.30.101. And we may drop out the first one, but we should get a reply on the last 3. And there we go. And yeah, it does ask me to do the pinging from the other ones, but I know for a fact that they're going to work. So I do thank you for watching my video on how to set up and get a enterprise network working, and for Don, 100% completion. Once again, I thank you for watching, and I hope you have yourself a great day. Sorry about that.